In a small village surrounded by majestic mountains, there was a man named Jack, known for his negative attitude. Every little thing seemed to bother him. On sunny days, he complained about the heat. On rainy days, he worried about floods. His constant grumbling eventually pushed everyone in the village away. One day, after a heated argument with an old friend who refused to help him, Jack sat by a stream, watching the water rush by. He sighed and muttered, "Life is so unfair. Why does everything always go wrong for me?" Suddenly, a gentle voice interrupted his thoughts. "Do you really think the world is unfair to you?" Jack turned around and saw an elderly monk dressed in simple brown robes leaning on a wooden staff. Jack couldn't hold back and poured out all his frustrations. Failed crops, strained relationships, and a deep emptiness he felt inside. The monk listened patiently, then handed Jack an empty bowl and said, "I can help you, but first do one thing for me. Take this bowl and go around the village. Collect only the things you truly appreciate. But remember, do not let the bowl overflow before returning to me." Jack was confused but agreed, thinking, how hard can it be to fill an empty bowl? On the first day, Jack visited an old woman in the village. She handed him a small potato. Jack accepted it, but thought to himself, "Just a potato? What's so special about this?" He reluctantly placed it in the bowl. The next day, a little child ran up to him, offering a wildflower with a cheerful smile. "Here, sir, this is the prettiest flower I found." Jack took the flower but hesitated to put it in the bowl, thinking, "A flower? What value does it have?" On the third day, Jack, feeling thirsty, met a farmer working hard in the fields. The farmer offered him a bowl of water and said, "Drink this, it's cool and fresh, straight from the well." Jack drank the water, feeling its refreshing coolness, and for the first time, he felt a small sense of gratitude. Day by day, Jack began to notice the meaning behind these small gestures. The potato wasn't just food. It was the old woman's kindness. The wildflower carried the innocence and joy of the child. The bowl of water symbolized the generosity of the farmer. After a week, Jack returned to the monk with the empty bowl in hand, but this time, his face was different, calm and filled with newfound understanding. "Master, I understand now. Life isn't unfair to me. I just couldn't see the good things around me." The monk smiled and nodded. "You have learned an important lesson. Your mind is like this bowl. If it is filled with negativity, it will always feel heavy and empty, no matter how much you add to it. But when you begin to appreciate the small, simple things, even an empty bowl can feel full." From that day on, Jack changed. He no longer complained, but instead started noticing and appreciating the little things. The warmth of the sun on his face, the sound of birds singing in the morning, and the kindness of those around him. The villagers also noticed his transformation. Jack became a trusted friend and someone people turned to for advice. One day, when a neighbor came to him feeling frustrated, Jack smiled and said, "When life feels hard, ask yourself, what lesson is this moment trying to teach me?" When you complain that your life is filled with misfortunes, when everything seems to go against you, work doesn't go well, family is in conflict, and your friends grow distant, ask yourself, how can I change my destiny? Be like flowing water. It never complains about the rocks blocking its path, but calmly finds a way around them. Our lives are the same. You can choose how to see things. Instead of focusing only on difficulties, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Life is a blend of blessings and challenges. It's not the events that happen to you, but how you respond to them that determines your path. You don't need to change everything around you. Start with your own thoughts. When you change your mindset, you'll realize that everything happens for a reason, and this realization will guide you toward peace. Instead of focusing on the negatives, learn to appreciate the little things. When challenges arise, remind yourself, what lesson is this here to teach me? As days go by, you'll feel lighter and happier. Life isn't always easy, but when you change how you see it, you'll discover that every difficulty is an opportunity to grow. Ask yourself, Am I living like flowing water, always finding new paths, or am I letting obstacles hold me back? Your mindset is the key to unlocking a new life. Choose to see things positively, because when you change your thoughts, your entire life will follow.